Welcome to section 2.3C. Yes, the third part of section 2.3. Now we're going to multiply rational numbers that are in the form of fractions. Fractions stand for fun and favorite. Okay, so step one here, we are multiplying, so that's good news because you don't need a common denominator when you're multiplying. So step one, if you see any mixed numbers, change them into improper fractions. Please don't change any of the signs of the numbers. That's only for addition, not for multiplication. Alright, so again, you don't need a common denominator. You do have the option to cross cancel when you're multiplying fractions. It's going to save you a step of simplifying at the end. If you're not confident with cross canceling, just don't do it. You don't have to do it. If you'd like to get confident with us, come see us at lunch. We'd be so happy to show you how to do it. Alright, so anyhow, if you're going to cross cancel, it should take place before you go ahead and multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and yes, you need to simplify. When you're simplifying, you can just take note that if the signs are the same, your answer is positive. If the signs are different, your answer is negative. And that's how we'll use estimation as well to see if your answer makes sense in the end. So let's try 4 of them for your pleasure. Okay, we have negative 4/5, and you're not subtracting 10/11 from this. Okay, this is negative 4/5 right next to a set of parentheses. That means multiplication. So you're taking a negative 4/5 and multiplying it by negative 10/11. So in this, I don't have any mixed numbers. We don't have to change anything. We don't need a common denominator. What I need to do is multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, and simplify. Those of you that are cross cancelers, I'm going to hold off. I'll show you at the end how you could have done it that way. But for now, let's just do it step by step over here. I have negative 4/10 times negative 10/11. It's a negative multiplied by another negative, so I'm going to have a positive result. So I need to take 4 times 10 and 5 times 11. 4 times 10 is 40. 5 times 11 is 55. So this 40 55ths, I see this ends in a 0, this ends in a 5. Right off the bat, I know, hey, 5 goes into both of those. I don't know if it's the lowest, we'll see, but I know that 5 goes into both. So I'm going to divide each by 5 because, yes, you must simplify. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 55 divided by 5 is 11, and that is in simplest form. And just to double check it, it was a negative multiplied by another negative, so it is a positive 8/11. Moving along. Actually, no, I don't want to move along yet. I want to show you the little trick. So this is how cross canceling would work. I'm going to rewrite this just as 4/5 times 10/11 because we already took care of the sign. A negative multiplied by another negative is a positive. Now cross canceling, the 4 and the 11 are across from one another, and the 5 and the 10 are across from one another. When you look at 4 and 11, they don't have a number in common that would divide into them other than 1, so can't really do anything with them. But if you look at 5 and 10, 5 goes into both 5 and 10. So what you could actually do before you start the problem is you could divide each of these numbers by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now, if you multiply across, you'd have 4 times 2 over 1 times 11, which, lo and behold, gives you 8/11. And you don't have to simplify. I know, it's crazy. So if you do cross cancel beforehand, it saves you the step of simplifying the fraction in the end. Just saying. We're all about saving time, right? Okay, next one. I have 5/9 multiplied by negative 4/9. I know that they have the same denominator, but that doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to add them together or just start multiplying and bringing the denominator over. When you multiply, you're multiplying everything. So for starters, I see that this 5/9 is positive and this 4/9 is negative. I know that I'm going to have a negative result in the end because when you multiply and you have one of each, it's negative. So we have no mixed numbers, so we can multiply across the top and we can multiply across the bottom. Again, bringing over that negative sign, 5 times 4 is 20, 9 times 9 is 81. And there's not a number other than 1 that goes into 20 and 81, so you are done. And maybe if you look at this beforehand, you can kind of see, hey, 5 and 9 don't have anything in common other than 1, and neither do 9 and 4, so I couldn't cross cancel. I got simplest form in the end. All right, next, negative 1 3/4 multiplied by negative 2/5. Yes, that is a mixed number. It's not allowed when we're trying to figure this out, so we're going to want to change that. So ignore the sign for now. In order to change this, you take 4 times 1 plus 3 over 4, and we're still multiplying that by a negative 2/5, and this is negative. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, so I have a negative 7/4 multiplied by a negative 2/5. Alright, now this is good to go. We don't need a common denominator again, and I see this is a negative multiplied by another negative. That means a positive result. So to get this solution, I take 7 times 2, and I take 4 times 5. If you did cross cancel, that means you did some fun stuff with this 4 and this 2. And if you didn't, don't worry about it. I'm going to keep going this way. But again, if you're cross canceling, go ahead. You can take that step. Alright, 7 times 2 is 14. 4 times 5 is 20. So you have 14/20. Those are both even. So if they're both even, I know that at least 2 goes into both of those. So let's try dividing each by 2. See what we get. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 20 divided by 2 is 10. And 7/10 is in simplest form. Again, it was a negative multiplied by another negative, so I know my result is positive. Alright, last one. Again, we have these little tiny 2. It's so cute, isn't it? So this doesn't mean that I'm multiplying it by 2. It means that I have negative 3/5 twice. It's being multiplied twice. So this problem is really saying negative 3/5 multiplied by another negative 3/5. A negative multiplied by a negative means I'm going to have a positive result. So I know my answer is positive. I don't have to write a little tiny plus sign for that. We don't do that. So multiplying the numerators, 3 times 3. Multiplying the denominators, 5 times 5. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 5 is 25. 9/25. Nothing goes into 9 and 25 other than 1. So you are done. See you tomorrow.